Hey guys, welcome to Black United. Welcome to another video. And guys, finally, it has been finished. Ernesto Valverde has been sacked as Barcelona manager, and Quique Setien will be the new Blaugrana coach coming for the rest of the season. And it is very hopeful news. It gives us hope for sure for some Barcelona fans. Valverde was already on his last strides as Barcelona coach. Honestly, there is a bunch of things that there's to talk about. I'll probably talk more about in depth about Valverde, about Setien in the coming days for sure. And where do I start? Let's start because the news literally just broke. Ernesto Valverde was a coach that, it's gonna leave the club in a bad manner, and I know that a lot of you guys wanted Valverde out, me myself included. I wanted Valverde out, but it's not solely because Valverde for me is not a bad manager. It's not a bad coach, but he was just not the right profile of manager for Barcelona. Like, he's a good manager for the likes of Athletic. He might be good for a big team, just not Barcelona. Barcelona, as we know, it's a very particular team that not only you need to win, but you need to win playing good football. And the trajectory that we were doing, we were getting our lowest points tally by winter since Rijkaard's era, and the play has been decreasing every season. And let's start by that. Let's start by talking about the trajectory of Ernesto Valverde. Ernesto Valverde comes in the summer of 2017 for the 17-18 season. He doesn't get an easy task because he needs to, take the ship of the catastrophe against Paris and the catastrophe against Juventus. So it wasn't an easy task, and definitely losing Neymar midway through the summer, it didn't make things easier. Like, he had to adapt to what he had. He probably had a plan out already to play with Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, and then they had to go ahead and buy Dembele, Coutinho, and other things like that, which obviously didn't make these things easy. It was going to be a very difficult transition for the Barcelona team, and honestly, that season with the 4-4-2, they played pretty well with Messi, Suarez up top. They were actually pretty good. It was solid. The play was already not great, but that is not because we lost Neymar. It's just because, the players were getting older. We had a midfield. Let me remind you, the starting midfield pretty much the whole season was Rakitic, Busquets, Iniesta, and Paulinho. Because Dembele got injured, that was pretty much our starting 11. Then when Coutinho got back in the January transfer window, Coutinho slotted into that position. But other than that, that was pretty much the midfield, and you can see that we needed more energy, and it was a pretty successful season. I don't blame the Roma accident to Valverde specifically, because the players completely down tools. There's no way. Even without the manager, you shouldn't be losing 3-0 against Roma ever. I blame those players that definitely got in with the idea that they were going to win easily. And there's you need to know how to suffer, and that's I think the biggest problem in the Valverde era. That you're a team that doesn't have the capacity to suffer during games, and suffering, I mean being able to understand that you are not gonna blitz to everything that you face, that you're gonna have opposition, that you're gonna be put in a tough situation, and you need to get through it. That's how Madrid won the Champions League, and it doesn't mean that they play unbelievably well. It's just that they know how to suffer for the most part. Then after that, we had the 18-19 season, which the play was already very bad. I don't know why we switched to 4-3-3. We should have kept the 4-4-2 because the 4-3-3 was horrendous. And then the accident at Anfield happened. We lost Liverpool 4-0, and I guess that should have been the point where the board sacked Valverde after the 18-19 season, but they didn't. And we started this season with this more of the same from last season: bad results, bad play. Generally, like it's just not good enough. Madrid have caught up to us, and remembering that they finished last season? They finished 18 points behind us, and they've pretty much overtaken 18 points if they're tying points with us, which is not good. Madrid won the Supercopa, and I honestly don't understand what was the meaning of sacking Valverde now. Like, you had the chance to sack him after the Radalos. You had the chance to sack him in December. Like, why is losing the Supercopa the triggering point for Valverde getting sacked? That's something that I don't understand. Like, that's no worse than losing against Roma, than losing against Liverpool, than playing really bad football. Generally, like, I just don't understand it. Obviously, the board protected Valverde, and the players also protected Valverde for obvious reasons, because they get a lot of free days. They lose in the Supercopa and they get vacations, you know. It was crazy. Again, not saying that Valverde is a bad coach at all. Like, Valverde is actually a good coach. The job that he did with Athletic was unbelievable. Let's remember that they beat us in the Supercopa de España a couple seasons by a lot of goals. Like, he was able to take the best out of that team, and overall, like, I feel kind of sad for Valverde because the board have treated him pretty badly. Like, he's done pretty much anything that the board have asked him to do. Like, he's not interfered with the decisions. They've allowed him to sign anyone that they want. He's done pretty much whatever the players and the board have wanted, and he's going out like this, and it feels really sad to me because at the end of the day, you can like him more or less, but he gave us 2 La Liga titles, a Copa del Rey, and 1 Supercopa de España. Like, he's given us trophies, and he's been at Barcelona for 2.5 seasons, which should count for something. Whether you like him or not, you at least earn him the respect. You should give him the respect of telling him in his face, Valverde, we are looking for a new coach, we need to part ways, and then you go ahead and look for a replacement. But don't, like, how are you gonna allow to the information, all the information got filtered by the Barcelona board? Obviously, there's no way that all this, like, movie of going to Qatar to see Xavi and then talking to Ronald Koeman, like, all these things, you could have done it in private. It's okay to talk to the managers in private, and then, you know, after you get him confirmed, sack Valverde, announce a new manager, and there. But no, you went to Xavi, he said no. Ronald Koeman, he said no. And then you went to Quique Setien, and Quique Setien has said yes. He doesn't have a club right now, or he didn't have a club before. He's going to be the new Barcelona coach. And now it's time to transition about Quique Setien. It's time to talk about Quique Setien, about... I'll do probably more the tactical analysis of his Betis team and his Los Palmas team in some other days, the next couple of days. But what does it mean for Barca to sign Quique Setien? Well, honestly, I think that if the results don't improve, I don't think it's to blame Quique Setien. I think that we'll play a lot better football for sure, because at the end, it's a manager that will not go ahead and defend a lead. He doesn't do that. One, because I don't think he's able to do it. He just doesn't have the capacity of, you know, doing that, suffering. So he needs to blitz team out of the park. When you see that Betis team, it was very similar. Like, the indication of that is that they were winning, I believe, 2-0 against Valencia last season in the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. And he was just not able to sit back and counter. He just wanted to go more and more and more. And because, you know, that Betis team can only do so much, because they only have their players have a level that is, you know, mid-table-ish. So they got nervous. Valencia put in more pressure, and they managed to come back from that. But overall, the job that he's done, let's remember that Quique Setien is the last manager to beat Barcelona in the Camp Nou with Betis by beating them 4-3. And the 3 goals that we scored, it was more just by inertia, because we bring Arturo Vidal to... And Valverde said it himself. He brought in Arturo Vidal to take the control of the game, because you were not able to dominate that Betis side. They were good. Firpo line, Tello, Joaquin, William Carvalho, remember, had a fantastic game. Like, I just believe that especially our midfield is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I don't think that we're going to play a 3 at the back, because the thing about playing 3 at the back with Setien is that, you know, obviously your defenders are worse. You need to add another defender. You need to add another center back, and that kind of helps at the end. But I think we're going to stay with the 4-2-3. He's probably going to play, if I had to bet on it, I'd probably say he'll play the young Busquets for sure. And then if Arthur comes back, they'll probably play Arthur. And Arthur and the young probably will do something similar to Lo Celso and Canales. Let's remember that he was able to get the best out of Canales. And Lo Celso was unbelievable that season. Like, he's still one of the best midfielders in the world for sure. Mourinho needs to get the best out of that player. By the young and Artur, especially with Busquets, I think Busquets is going to be the anchor. I think if I had to say who's going to be the most improved player on this at the end, I think it's going to be, if I had to bet on it, I think it's going to be Busquets. I also think that Firpo's going to, you know, play more if he deserves to play. If Alba is not at his best level, Firpo will get some chances. And now with the injury of Luis Suarez for 4 months, I think that it's really important that Ousmane Dembele stays fit, because a forward line of Messi, Griezmann and Dembele, it looks very dangerous. It looks very good, and I'm very excited to see what happens. I don't know if Messi's gonna play as a false 9 or as a right winger, but we'll see. Definitely it's gonna be very interesting. I think that we're gonna play better football. Again, the results we'll see, because we've so long not pressed. We haven't pressed high up the pitch, and we haven't, you know, plays that much attacking football to the point that I feel the team has forgotten how to do it. It will take a period of adaptation, but I believe that the players will have to listen to a point, because this will leave them on a huge point of evidence. If we keep playing badly, and you've gone through 3 managers, because the last season of Luis Enrique was not great, the seasons we already haven't been great, and if now you fail to perform with Quique Setien, and you guys and the players being the quality of players that they are, Messi, Griezmann, Piqué, Busquets, if they don't perform to the level that they need to, they can you know, eyebrows will be raised, and they know that they will be put under evidence, under pressure, and that they could be, you know, they could be put out of the club for the next season. We'll see if Xavi's going to come in for next season. Depends. I think it depends on how Setien does this season. If I had to bet on it, I say that I'm not going to say that we'll probably win the league, because I need to see how the team plays before that. But I think that this is the best thing in order to win the league title. To have the best possibility of winning the league title is to, you know, dominate our style, which is the best to winning league titles. And then the Champions League, we'll see. Through our history, Barcelona hasn't won a Champions League. They haven't been the best team in the world. Every season that Barcelona has won a Champions League title, we have been the best team in the world. I don't believe that we are this season, but you know, history is meant to repeat itself, but rules to a point are also meant to be broken. So that's about it for today's video. I hope that you guys are excited for Quique Setien. Give me your opinions about Valverde on the era. I know I'm gonna probably see a lot of Valverde out, about thank God that Valverde's out, Setien, new coach, this and that. Leave me all your opinions, any questions that you guys want to give me. I'll try to answer them as much as I can. Give me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next one, Blaugranas.